Hi everyone. Today I want to tell you about what's on my summer reading list. And I have different ones. I have audiobooks. I have books that are on my iPad in my iBooks app. And then I have like books. I'll go through first and tell you what is in my iBooks. These are books that I've purchased from iTunes. And then iBooks looks like that when you open the app, it looks like a bookshelf and you pick which book you want to read. I have two books in there that are about the Casey Anthony case. She's the woman that killed her little girl and then put her in the garbage bag and threw her in the trunk of her car and drove her around for a couple of weeks until her car started stinking, and then she abandoned the car and went out and got a tattoo and partying, and then, oh, by the way, she was found innocent by the jury, which, don't get me started on that. Right about the time that trial started is when my job was axed. So I really was into that trial. I didn't miss too much of it. So when these books came out, I bought them. One of them's called Mommy's Little Girl by Diane Fanning, and she was a reporter who was right there from the beginning. It was a very good book. The other one was Imperfect Justice by Jeff Ashton. Jeff Ashton was one of the prosecutors on the case, and it was a real interesting book. It was interesting to hear his take on things. One of the other books on my iBooks is Wishful Drinking by Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher is the daughter of Eddie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds, and she's had a lot of struggles with alcohol and drugs and different like mental health issues that she's kind of worked her way through. It's a good book. She's a very good writer. It's an easy read, kind of a tough subject, but it's easy read. You can read it in an afternoon by the pool type of a thing. I have French Lessons by Ellen Sussman. I don't know what that's about. I have not started it. I think I bought that book based upon a review that I read in either the New Yorker or Vogue. I did buy the book based upon a review, which that doesn't happen very often, but this one it did, but I haven't started it yet. The next book is one of my favorites of all time, called The Help by Catherine Stockett. I love that book. I know there's a movie that's been made by it. I haven't seen the movie. But this is a book that I will keep and I will reread. I'll probably reread it again this summer. That book, there were parts of it where it would make me laugh. I would out loud laugh or cry, and sometimes within the same paragraph. She's a very good writer, and that time frame, the mid-60s, I was a little girl, and I remember a lot of the issues that were going on during those days. Anyway, I love that book. Another book that I read, and I'm not even sure why I bought it. It's called Untold Story by Monica Ali, A-L-I. And the premise of this book is that Lady Diana did not really die in that car crash, but she faked her death and came to America and lived in a small town in Iowa. And for one thing, that whole premise to me is ridiculous. And as a mother, I know that no mother in their right mind would walk away from two young boys to go live in a small town in America. It's just to me ridiculous. Anyway, I read the book. It was It wasn't anything special. Don't even really remember the plot. It was just about this like mysterious woman, and I don't know. Anyway, it's not one I would recommend. Another one, I haven't read this one yet. It's called One Day. It's by David Nichols. There is a movie that has been made by it. The premise of this book is these two kids are, when they're in college, they meet, and then they make a pact that one day each year they'll get together and catch up. And they go their separate lives, and it's not that they're like boyfriend and girlfriend, they're just friends. So I thought that was kind of an interesting premise, because I do have a lot of male friends that I'm just friends with. But I haven't read that one yet. One of them that I'm reading right now is called The Partner by John Grisham, which I love John Grisham books. I'm right in the middle of this one. It's about a partner in a law firm, and he stole like a huge amount of money. I want to say $90 million. And he hid the money, and then he disappeared into the mountains of Rio. But of course he was found, but he had a genius plan, that because he knew he would be found and he knew he would be tortured and he would have to say where the money was. And he had a woman that if she couldn't get a hold of him, she knew he had been captured. So the woman took the money and hid it. So all he could tell them, it was the truth, was that the money was here and that this woman was, going to take care of it. And then he didn't know anything about what her plans were. So I'm kind of right in the middle of it, but it's a very good book. Another book I have in my iBooks library is one called Summer Sisters by Judy Blume. It's a great novel. It's a great book to take to the beach, and it's about friendship and family, and it's just a really good book. It'll make you laugh and cry and all the good things you want a book to do. Then the last one I have on my iBooks is called It's All About the Dress by Vicki Teal. Vicki Teal is a designer who's been around forever. She designed for Elizabeth Taylor, and the caftan that Elizabeth Taylor always wore, Vicki Teal designed that. And she's got good stories to tell about different designers, different movie stars, and she's a very good writer. I also have Anne Rule in The Still of the Night. Anne Rule is a true crime writer. She writes very good books about true crimes. And she's from the Pacific Northwest, which is where I'm from. So a lot of these stories she writes about, I'm familiar with the neighborhood. In my audiobooks, my mom can't read, so I buy a lot of audiobooks. And when I walk on the treadmill every day, and I listen to, if I'm not listening to Baby Got Back, and I'm listening to a book. And one of them is John Grisham, The Litigators. That was a very good book. 50 Shades of Grey. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm ever going to get through that one. Just shoot me now. Oh, I don't get the hype. I'm on chapter 8, and I don't believe they've even kissed. And I was told this was like a real raunchy, kind of out there book, but so it's 8 chapters and not much has happened. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get through it. I will, but it's going to take me all summer. And I've heard where people have read this in one day. I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I got a bad batch of it. I don't know. I do have 2 Patricia Cornwell books. One of them's called Isle of Dogs. The other one is Red Mist. They're kind of a spy mystery type of book. I have one by Anne Brashares. It's called The Last Summer of You and Me. And one by Sandra Brown called Charade. And that is kind of a crime drama romance. There's one by Philip Galanes called Emma's Table. I don't know anything about that one. And then I have two Janet Ivanovich, the Stephanie Plum, The Woman Bounty Hunter books, One for the Money and Explosive 18. And those are, those are a fun, easy read, and those are mostly for my mom. This one, Nora Roberts, is one of, I love her books. I've read a lot of her books. I always like them. I actually bought this one at the grocery store the other day. Very seldom do I buy books, but I bought that one. Then at a yard sale this weekend, I found this one, James Michener, Texas. I love his books. You know, I lived on Maui for 28 years. One of my favorite books of all time is James Michener, Hawaii. And I just love his historical, the way he goes back. And he's very accurate. He doesn't, he's very accurate in his history. He was with Hawaii anyway. I haven't read Texas, so I'm anxious for that one. I did buy a Danielle Steele book called Remembrance, and I will bet when I start reading it, I've probably already read it, because I like Danielle Steele. I've read a lot of her books. And I bought John Grisham, The Testament. And these books, I bought these books, picture frame, and there was something else, some other little thing, and it was $1. The woman wanted $1 for all of it. So that was a good deal. So that's it. That's it for my summer reading list. I think this might get me through July. I don't know. It depends if I can get through that 50 Shades of Grey or not. I just don't get it. I don't get it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I get through it. Maybe it'll start getting good here by chapter 9. Anyway, thanks you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.